Hey friends, welcome to today's Cafecito Chat. I am Raquel, the host of this show, and thank you so much for stopping by. Today's show is all about how our mind can sometimes get us in a rut and how we can get away from that thinking that sometimes has us on this hamster wheel. The Women in Business networking event that we had recently was all about us brain dumping and just taking control of our mental clutter. And one of the ways that's the easiest to do that is to brain dump, is to just get on a phone, a notes app, or to have a, don't you hate when you get distracted? I hate getting distracted. I have a little bit of ADHD, and so I have very much squirrel moments. And so when somebody sends me a text message while I'm doing something, it completely throws me off. I absolutely hate it. But that's not what we're talking about today. Mental clutter can kind of gum up the works. And if you can use a method as simple as brain dumping, you will be in a much better place mentally. Now, a lot of times I brain dump on electronically. Sometimes I get a piece of paper. Sometimes I get just a note card, whatever it is that I have present and at hand. I have a whiteboard that sometimes I do it on at home. Either way, the act of brain dumping, even if that's not going to be the one list that you're going to keep for forever or, keep for a long period of time, but the act of doing it is really going to be helpful for you. And it is helpful because we clear the clutter and we're able to have those creative thoughts instead of storing all of our to-dos and all the things that just come up the works. And so we talked all about brain dumping. Hopefully I have some audio for you on that soon. But what am I loving lately? First and foremost, I'm drinking water. That's my drink of choice today because it's hot outside. It is 80 degrees outside and I'm in this fishbowl of an office, which is beautiful and I appreciate it, but it is very hot in here. These cool things, I don't know if you've seen these. These are called compressed towels. I bought these on Amazon, but I've seen them at Dollar Tree and they're the coolest things. I can toss them right into my bag, and I know we can have wipies and all of the things, but these are super cool and they're big. So I'm going to show you what this compressed towel can do. Okay, so bear with me because I'm going to show you what it can do. Okay, so are we ready to see what these compressed towels can do? So I'm gonna open her up and let me show you. So it's little, it's like this. You can toss it in your bag, you can put it in your pocket, whatever. Then you just get a little bit of water and you can do this while you're on the go, and you simply get this little guy wet. Don't drop a lot of water in the process, but you just get it wet a little bit. And I'm gonna show you how this thing is. I remember having washcloths like this when my kids were small. And they were really useful, but these are so neat because look how big it is. Let me just show you this. And it's real super thick. And when you use it, you can take a whole sponge bath with this thing. Look at that. It's so cool and it's large. And so you can use it for a whole lot of things, and it fit in this little teeny tiny bag. It's what I'm loving lately, especially because I just got off of a long trip. And when you need to wipe stuff down, or when you, are in a pinch, we went to a flea market and we spent some time out there, and when you eat something that's just kind of ooey and gooey and messy, you get one of these, you wipe your hands and you can wipe all sorts of stuff down, and it is just perfect. So I'll link in the comments below, I'll link a little bit of information about where you can get some of those if in case they interest you. Okay, so let's get into the talk today, our Cafecito Chat. All right, I'm reading this book right now called Leading Yourself. Chapter 2 is called You See What You Look For. And Wayne Dyer said, what you see is evidence of what you believe. Now, our brains, as this book tells us, is hardwired to look for things that match our mental map. So in other words, have you ever purchased a vehicle that's red in color and all of a sudden you see red cars everywhere? And you're thinking, man, now these red cars are popping up like crazy. People must be buying red cars. And our minds are trained to do this thing where they want to help you just create evidence for what you already believe. This is called the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, and it refers to a false impression that something happens more frequently than it does. And when that happens, what happens in our minds is that we have increased awareness, and we get into what is confirmation bias. In other words, our minds are creating evidence for what we already believe or or our hypothesis of what we think to be true, and then our belief gets solidified. Now, a lot of times when we confront this in our careers and in our workplace, what usually happens is that maybe we get a bad review, and we get a bad review, our mind begins to just try to look then for evidence to solidify the thought and to cement the thought that we're not good at our jobs, that nobody likes us, that we are lacking, that we are not as smart or as efficient as somebody else. And our minds begin to do that. So when that begins to spiral, it can get out of control. So, and I say spiral because sometimes if you're like me, those thoughts just go round and round and round and round in your mind. And so what happens is that we then begin to look for proof that what we believe to be true is true. Today, my advice to you is for you to brain dump these thoughts. I'm having them, I'm recognizing that they're there, but what I really want to know is this true, or is my mind doing that confirmation bias thing that is just trying to complete the circle and prove that I am who my thoughts sometimes say that I am? Sometimes it's great. Sometimes they're good thoughts, and you start to look for evidence to be like, I feel good today. I feel good, like this is a good thing. And we get that confidence from it. But a lot of times they're detrimental thoughts that cause us to doubt ourselves, to feel like imposters, and to think that everybody is thinking something that we're thinking about ourselves. Don't let your mind trick you into thinking that you are a failure, that you are not good enough, that you are not smart enough, that you are not able, that you don't have what it takes to do the job that you are hired to do, or that you have started doing because you started a business. So it's really essential for us to get out of this frame of thought or way of thinking so that we can clear out the clutter and begin with a fresh slate. One of the best ways that I have found to do this is by dumping everything from here onto a piece of paper, taking a look at it. And sometimes when it's in black and white, it makes me realize it's irrelevant. It is not true. Sometimes what I need is just to go and have coffee with a mentor or with a friend and just say, I'm going to spill my heart out and I'm going to tell you everything that's in my mind, and I need you to help me to recognize what is true and what is not. Make sure that you're with a trusted friend when you do this. And that will just help you to clear up what our minds tend to do. And that is to find or confirm the bias that sometimes is already in there. So I'm telling you today, one of the best ways for you to combat this is to take everything out of here, put it on paper, and then let's take a look at it. And let's really confirm what's true and what maybe we're just trying to confirm because of this confirmation bias. Remember, it's increased awareness of something, and then our minds, tries to confirm that bias, and then our belief gets solidified. Make sure that what's getting solidified is actually the truth. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being with me today. I hope that this advice helps somebody out there. And if you would like to work with me, I would definitely love to visit with you. You can send me a direct message here, or you can just leave a comment down below and I will reach out to you. Thank you so much again, and have a wonderful afternoon.